Hello, everybody. It's me, Izzy, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about anxiety and, tell my story of my anxiety that I've built up over the span of 3, 4 years. Um, Rissie isn't with me, and, right now it's kind of hard to talk about this subject because I'm thinking of what I am going to project onto you. And it's really hard to think about what I'm going to say about anxiety because I've went through major severe anxiety in my life and I don't even know where to begin. Like, this story could go on and on and on and on until I make it stop. But here we go. So, anxiety, what is it? Anxiety is like this feeling in your chest and your throat and your whole body of it's a horrible feeling, something horrible, like you're dying, you're unable to breathe, you're breathing hard, you are up and down, you are running around, you are scaling your apartment, you are walking up and down the walls, and sometimes crazy stuff happens. Anyways, that's my severe anxiety. I've had severe anxiety since freshman in high school. I was a freshman in high school, and I was all throughout my school years. I was bullied. I was messed around with. People fucked with me. People said stuff to me. People did everything. Now, like, why would anybody want to start trouble with me? I didn't start trouble with anybody else. I stayed to myself. My phone. I stayed to myself. I kept away from everybody else. I didn't want to be involved with people. And that's just who I was. I was away from people, but people still brought me into things, and people pushed me around, said crap about me, and ultimately brought me down. Anyways, even this one story, I remember this one teacher because I was being bullied, and I literally in that class screamed out. This was 6th grade. I screamed out at the kid who came up behind me, stepped on the back of my heel, pushed down, and literally caused me pain. And I went to talk to the teacher after class, and guess what happened? Just take a minute and guess. You're not gonna believe what the fuck just happened. In that class, with that teacher, you know what that teacher told me? She told me not to be a snitch. She told me not to report this, not to even say anything. How the hell do you respond to that? I was in tears. I was in shock. I was crying. A teacher doesn't tell somebody that. No. But a teacher told me that. How crazy is that? If you have anxiety and if you're being bullied and tormented in school, you need to go tell somebody. You need to run to the office. You need to tell somebody. You need to just get up and tell somebody. Don't give a flying rat's ass who is messing with you. You got to do it. It's one of those things where the school administration can help you and they can get involved. And even though my school administration never got involved with anything, I don't fucking know. Anyways, anxiety, my story, my freshman year, I literally, after being bullied and, all this stuff, I had sort of a mild anxiety. And one day in gym, we were outside playing kickball, something simple. I usually didn't get involved with PE and physical educational sports, but I was usually on the side or in the back, just minding my own damn business, enjoying the sun, enjoying the freedom, getting some fresh air, not even giving a crap about what's going on, because I never got involved with that. I never got involved with people in the school because I always stayed to myself. That's just who I was. Anyways, what ended up happening was a ball came flying towards me, the kickball, and I thought maybe might as well try to catch it. I'm right here. It's coming right there. I see it, and I end up not being able to catch it. At this point, everyone starts laughing at me. Everyone starts making me feel like crap. Everyone starts pointing and laughing, just looking, watching. And, that day, that brought me down. But here's the other things that were happening that day. some kid came next to me. You know what he called me? He called me an anorexic. He said I was anorexic, which, why would you come up to me and say that when it doesn't really deal with kickball? The hell? You know, some people call me butterfingers and stupid crap like that, and be like, oh, you can't catch, you're stupid, blah 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 blah. But I mean, all those words hurt to a point to where I got up and literally I broke down. That day was the worst. I broke down into tears. I cried. Literally, I cried. I was yelling. I was screaming. I was pissed off at everybody there. And you know, that day was the worst. I was breaking down. I was having a mental breakdown. And once you have a mental breakdown, your life from there on changes. And mine literally changed from that day. I remember, you know, yelling and like being pissed off, and you know, the teacher told me to shut the hell up and go to the office. And I was like, no, you shut the hell up. I am pissed. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And you know, I was like, I'm already heading to the office. I don't care. I was done with this bullshit. So I was working with school administration. Of course, you know, they never really did crap. And from that day forth, every day of my high school life was me being pushed away. I pushed myself away from everybody, and pretty much I was isolated in my own little bubble. I had like maybe 4 friends or 3. And I pushed myself away from talking to people. People talked to me, you know, I talked, but I was, I don't even know how to say. But anyways, from that day on, I would have this severe anxiety. Imagine going into high school 7 hours, 8 hours a day, and just having a panic attack daily. Like, literally, I want to rip my hair out. I want to rip everything out of me. I was not having it. I was not having fun. It's not fun. And people with anxiety know that it's not fun. And it's embarrassing. It's a public embarrassment. I've had kids look at me and say, you know, talk behind my back, call me weird, you know. They thought I was the weird kid that was dying all the time. They thought, you know, what the hell was wrong with me? Well, the hell is wrong with me? I was going through anxiety attacks. And, you know, none of those people even stood there. Like, no, none of these people even cared to even help. I was there sitting helpless. I was like, who the hell do I go to? I have nobody here. No friends, nothing. I felt alone. I felt like shit. But I was having major severe anxiety daily for hours and hours on end, including when I got home. And what goes through my head through all that, you know, I'm up and down. You know, my heart rate's up. My breathing is very rapid. My hands start locking up on me, and my whole body starts locking up on me. My whole body feels tingly. Just everything. My head hurts. My head feels tingly. I feel like I'm going to pass out. I've never passed out, thankfully. I don't know how I managed to do it. I just never passed out, which I'm glad for. Didn't want to experience that in high school. Don't want to experience it. Anyways, daily severe anxiety. You know, it's embarrassing. I'm not going to lie. It's embarrassing. I went through it. Embarrassing as hell. Other people have went through it. Embarrassing as hell. You got people watching you, don't know what the hell is going on, and they're just questioning everything. And that's another thing. People came up to me and questioned, why do I do this? Why? Well, I can't control it. This anxiety came from my bullied, troubled past, and people being assholes. And, you know, like, everyone just kept saying, why? Well, you know, it's something I can't control. It's something that's mentally happening on in my head. And, you know, that's another thing, too. People just come up to me and say, hey, it's just in your head. Get over it. You can't just get over it. You know, I never got over it. That's because it's like, it's really mentally draining, physically, like, you are, like, literally you feel like you're dying, you feel sick, and you can't control it. I can't control it. I didn't control it. Just this past last year in June, I actually got prescribed Zoloft, and I worked my way up to 100 milligrams. But recently I started stop taking it. I mean, I don't want to take it anymore. So I kind of just stopped, and after a week or so, 2 weeks. I don't know when I didn't. Took it last like a couple of days ago, but it made me sick. Anyways, I was prescribed Zoloft. It did help to a point, but like I said, it was to a point. My severe anxiety came back to me when I got onto a plane. They almost diverted that plane. You know how embarrassing that is to sit there on a plane, having anxiety attacks with people like watching you, making sure you're fine. You got the stewardess being like, "Hey, are you okay?" Taking your pulse. All that bullshit and crazy ass people. Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm back. But anyways, you have stewardess coming up to you, asking if you're okay, and they almost diverted the plane just because of me. That's really embarrassing. I've had people watching me. But anyways, so anxiety is something you can't control, but something that really pisses me off is when people just stand there and stare. Don't just stand there and stare. At least go up and help. What made me feel better was to be able to talk to somebody. Be that person who walks up to somebody who's having an anxiety attack and be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Be like, "Hey, is there something we can talk about? What's going on in your mind? What's happening? What's making you so stressed?" Physically just talk. Just keep talking. Once you keep talking to them, you're going to get to a point to where you're going to be their method of getting calm. And that was my method of getting calm. I was talking to people. I was telling people like what I was so stressed about, what my anxiety was about, and it literally helped. And it's weird, but it worked for me. But anyways, I've been prescribed 100 milligrams sertraline. I went through that, and I've kind of been dropping it. I never take it anymore, but the withdrawals, I don't know how I overcame that. I don't even know. Anyways, but anxiety is something embarrassing, that I've went through, and it's really, really horrible. You feel like you're dying. You feel like you can't breathe. Your heart rate's all the way up. And what I usually did when I had anxiety attacks was I'd pace around the room. I'd grab stuff, hold stuff. I would literally start ripping stuff. I would fall to the ground. I would be dying. I would go outside. I feel like I can't breathe. It's really horrible. And, anyone that has anxiety shouldn't be having to deal with it, but we have to deal with it, sadly. And it's something that's hard to deal with. But, I just wanted to say my story and what I've went through and all the stuff that I've been through. And even my mother, she didn't understand what was going on in my head. She didn't understand the pain that I was going through. And she would yell at me. And, maybe you have parents that yell at you too, but I've had my mom yelling at me, but that's only because she didn't understand. Your parents don't probably understand, but my mom never understood why I was doing this. And, we worked it out together. We talked. We made sure we worked out a plan and what was up. And it ended up, we ended up building a relationship back up. Needless to say, I worked my way up to getting out of my anxiety very carefully, very slowly, taking time. And I got to the point to where I actually moved out from my mom, from everybody else, from the town that I grew up in that gave me that severe anxiety. I moved out at the age of 18, got my apartment, got a job, and, I've been living up, out of my town in the city, and it's been perfect. My own place, my own apartment, my own furniture, my own everything. Nice, relaxing, calming, and I've been working my way to recovery. And even now, I'm recovered, but here's the thing. My college classes, I want to train to become an EMT, right? But here's the thing. I went through one class for about maybe a month or so, and my anxiety got the best of me again. And I don't know why I let my anxiety win. I shouldn't let it win, but it's something that's hard to control, and, I'm not going to lie here. But my anxiety was kicking up in my EMT class. And it was mainly because I was feeling claustrophobic with all these people. I felt like it was high school all over again. And so I'm not even sure what I'm going to do about that. Hopefully I can go back into my EMT classes without that, because I don't want people talking about me, saying, oh, yeah, he's going to freak out, blah, 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 look at him, he's a distraction. That's bullshit. I'm not going to go deal with that shit. But I'm slowly working my way up to that. And I do want to become an EMT, but I don't want to be an EMT who is going to be in a classroom sitting there feeling like this. Anyways, like, I've been on ride-alongs. I'm fine with seeing blood, dead people. I've seen a dead guy. I've seen blood. I have no problem seeing that. No problem at all. That doesn't give me anxiety. What gives me anxiety is sitting there silently in a classroom listening to one guy speak. That's what gives me the anxiety. Don't know why. But it just reminds me, like, people are, like, it feels like people are watching me. People are just, like, staring at me, judging me. That's the kind of thing that goes through my mind. And, maybe it goes through your mind, maybe it goes through other people's minds, but it goes through my mind. But anxiety is one of those things that's just a pain in the ass to live with. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't like it one bit. I still don't like it. Even now, I still kind of have small anxiety attacks here and there, and I'm up and down, pacing. I even had to go to the emergency room for the first time ever in my life, just because I was having anxiety attacks that was so bad that I was feeling about ready to pass out. I was becoming to a point to where I didn't know what the hell I was saying. I would say random stuff. I would start, I could consciously remember what I was doing, but here's the thing, I didn't know what I was doing, if that makes any sense. I was rambling on. That was because my oxygen levels were fucked up from my breathing. And at that point, you start going crazy. And you don't want to go crazy. Crazy is not fun at all. But, you start going crazy, you start saying crap. And, you're like, what's this? What's that? Like, how do I do this? How do I do that? When it should be common sense. You should already know how to do that. But once you get to that point, you're kind of SOL, and you got to fix yourself before it gets worse. I've went through that kind of stuff. I went through that kind of pain, and it sucks. Even in public, I was afraid to go places, get out of the house. I was afraid to do all this stuff. I never went out to eat. I never went to see a movie with my mom. I never went to go do anything. That was because I was afraid of my anxiety, like, happening up out of nowhere. And I somehow got out, was able to fix myself and recover to a point to where I'm able to go out in public, be free. My anxiety also sparked up in a car, because I would be in the back seat. But now that I have my own car, I'm driving, I know where I'm going, I'm in control. That's another thing. You have to be in control sometimes. If you're not in control, you're just going to feel helpless, and it's weird. It's a weird thing, but if you want to kind of calm yourself down from anxiety, be in control. Try to be in control of something, situation-wise. But I don't know what else to say. Anxiety is a bitch, and if you go through it, I want to know in the comments below. Let me know what's up. Maybe I can help you. Maybe we can talk about it, and maybe we can share our stories, my story, your story. I want to hear stories. I want to know what you've been through, because what I've been through was hell. To be honest, hell. Literally every day, hell. Did not want to be involved with it, but shit happens. Life happens. I went through doctors and everything, money spent on medicines and testing, and it's crazy. Even they wanted to put me in therapy. I was not going through therapy. And, even like with Zoloft, I wanted to fight against it. I didn't want it because it's a mind-altering drug. I did not want it, but after a while of getting to a point of feeling hopeless, I just took it. But it was the best thing of my life. But now that, I'm getting out and more into this kind of new area and new part of my life, I feel like I shouldn't go on to Zoloft for my whole life, which gives me the time and opportunity to get off of it and throw that out of my life completely. But yeah, if you're going through anxiety, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what's up. Talk to me. I'll talk to you. I'll message back as soon as possible. It's like 3 in the morning right now. If it was like, if you message me at 5 in the morning, go ahead. I'll write you back, like, if I'm awake. But if I am not awake, then I'll probably get you tomorrow or the next day. But if you have any questions, let me know. And if you want to talk about anything, let me know also. I'm here to talk to anybody that has anxiety, to share stories with, and to basically see what can we do to help you. But anyways, I feel like that's about it. About it for this whole anxiety discussion. Anyways, if you like the video, just like, subscribe, follow, all the different things. We have Twitter. And at this, it's really messed up. And I've I don't even know what else to say. I kind of want to end the video right now, but I don't want to end the video. Anxiety is a hard thing, and it's hard for people like me and other people to even come up front with their stories and talk about it. It is embarrassing, but I felt like I should tell my story to get it out to people. And I've watched YouTube videos when people are crying. People actually film their attacks. I never filmed my attacks. I never wanted to. It was horrible. But people film their attacks on YouTube, and then they've actually talked about it, and it's not fun. It's actually pretty scary. It's really, really scary. Anyway, that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead. The last bits of the video, the end, is probably gonna be people sharing their stories, experiences, and talking about it, and each will have their link to their channel down below or in an annotation somewhere. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a good night.